Angie found him. I don't know.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Rock Springs Stallions Double-A Baseball. The Rock Springs Stallions having another contest with the Evanston Outlaws. This is Andrew Gallinger from the Paul J. Wataha Recreation Complex. Taking a look at the lineup. Gavin Oliver in the first position, the starting pitcher for Evanston. Batting second, the center fielder, Walker Wilson. Batting third, the catcher, Hank Allred. Batting fourth, shortstop, Glenn Morrow. Batting fifth, Braxton Bauer, the first baseman. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Ryan Baldwin. Batting seventh, right fielder, Brody Clifton. Batting eighth, Damian Gaiman. Left fielder, and rounding out the batting order, the third baseman, Ryan Hoover. Pitching for Rock Springs, that will be Maddox White. Pitching for Rock Springs, Hudson Farmer at third base. Hudson Fuller at second, Andrew Rodamilli. At third, Davidson. Shortstop for Rock Springs, Billy Peters. Left field, Adrian Beardsley. Center field, Sam Wheeler. And right field, Megan Dickinson. We would also like to recognize the Rock Springs Stallions seniors, those that will be graduating from Rock Springs High School on Thursday night. Those seniors are Hudson Fasoler, Sam Wheeler, Tyler Bradford, Cannon Chrisman.
Up to bat first for the Evanston Outlaws, we have Gavin Oliver, number 24.
To those seniors on their graduation from high school in just about 48 hours from Rock Springs High School.
I couldn't find it.
They still have more baseball to be played, though, for these Rock Springs Stallions, as we are just about ready for the first pitch. Here we go for the first pitch, and we are underway.
First pitch thrown at 6:08 p.m., so getting started just a little bit behind schedule.
1-0 here on this chilly and windy night in late May here at the Paul J. Wataha Recreation Complex. That one in there for a strike. Now the count 1-1 for Gavin Oliver, the starting pitcher for Evanston. We'll see him on the mound in the bottom of inning number 1. And there's a slow roller right to the shortstop. Gets by. That's an error as it bounces. Gavin Oliver,
next, we have Walker Wilson,
able to make it to first on an error.
And that will bring up Walker Wilson. So yeah, and you heard Coach.
Up now, Walker Wilson is that error on Rock Springs shortstop.
To kind of give up an error to start the game off, that's something that Rock Springs is definitely going to be keeping.
Hank Allred now in the batter's box for Evanston.
This is the highest in the batting order I think we've seen him hit all year. First pitch, he hits contact.
Allred hits one off, but that's fouled off into right field, caught by the senior Hudson Fasoler in foul territory.
Out number 1
for the first
out.
out.
To bat now, we have Hank Allred, number 7.
Number 1, and now that brings up
Hank Allred now up for Evanston, the starting catcher.
You know what this last one is?
Evanston and Rock Springs, both 2-2 in this series so far this season. This game number 5 on the year between these two teams. And here comes the pitch. Allred fouls that one off. Evanston won the last matchup on May 17th, 10-5 in Evanston versus the Stallions. Rock Springs victorious on May 15th by a score of 5-0.
0-1 after the swing of the miss. Second pitch coming up from Annox Ice holding above his here is going to go ahead and check to first, keeping Gavin Oliver honest.
On May 10th, Rock Springs victorious by 10, 19-9 here in Rock Springs. One of Rock Springs' 2 wins. Both of the wins for the Stallions are against these Outlaws.
Well, I found out Triton scored.
And then the first game between these two teams in the series
Rocky tells me to be tough on
was
him.
an 11-6 Stallions win, as that one is a hit.
Wayne got it.
And that gets caught by Sam Wheeler in center field for out number 2. Fly out for Hank Allred.
That's number 2 out. Up to bat, we have number 2, Cohen Morrow.
Dead center back towards the wall. They noticed that the wind was hanging it back towards right field and made a nice correction to bring it in. Absolutely. It's easy to lose the ball in this swirling wind happening above the comp.
And that was a lot of wind
First time we're seeing him over there. He was fantastic.
carrying.
Last Tuesday against Rock Springs. Came in later in the ball game. That's going to go down low. He checked.
And there with Owen Morrow. Close play at second.
Oliver stealing second. That ball was in time. I just felt like that quick hand could have gotten Gavin Oliver. Oliver's going to go ahead and
Gavin Oliver safely steals second on a very close play.
Can't get to the head first.
Questionable as the wind is swirling. He made it though.
You come in here with me, baby. You can help me catch the corner. Show me announcements, fellas.
Can you grab that door for us, though, so that we doesn't go through?
Yeah. Conversation I had with former Outlaw skipper Chad Thompson said the goal is always to get a run for innings. So Evanston down to 2 with a runner in scoring position.
Can I get a hat? And I was like, yeah, let me
Kind of a
check
big
and
opportunity
see
for
if I
that
have
one.
it. And I like,
Low on
And that went low.
and
Count 2-1 now.
then he was like, okay, well, what sizes do you have?
Is it continuing to get windier here
And I was like, okay, what
at the North Rock Springs ball field?
I'm just gonna bring everything.
Can you pull that door shut for us, though, please?
And there's a slow roller to the shortstop. Gets by. Coming home, Gavin Oliver on the air.
Oliver takes that all the way home. And
Oliver brings it home from second.
nice job by Cohen. So
Owen Morrow, an error single. Also with the RBI, it's 1-0.
Up to bat, number
Evanston
34,
Outlaws.
Braxton Bauer.
and rolls off to his left, and then that gives Gavin Oliver the room he needs to circle third and score. Good recap. Billy Peterson, I believe that's the second time that we've seen the ball kind of roll up and run.
Braxton Bauer now up. Billy Peterson for Rock Springs, the shortstop. This is his second fielding error that we've seen today in a liner that goes right to the shortstop from one of these outlaw batters here in the top of the first inning, as that first one is outside and low for a ball. 1-0 for Braxton Bauer.
Catchers in the West here. Hank Allred and Hudson Gallinger. This is going to be a fun matchup behind the plate. But right now, one thing that I think that is probably
Also happens to be one hell.
1-0 lead now for Evanston over Rock Springs. Bauer slow roller. That's picked up by Billy Peterson. Peterson gets
That's
it.
out number 3.
And that's to first for the third out.
And that will bring us to the end of the top number. Thank you for joining us on a first pitch of oil.
And that's the end of the top of the first. It's a 1-0 lead for the Evanston Outlaws. Stay with us here at the Paul J. Wataha Recreation Complex. We'll be back for the bottom of inning number 1. This is Rock Springs Stallions baseball with Andrew Gallinger. The Evanston Outlaws on top. At the end of the top of frame number 1. 1-0, the Outlaws currently leading.
Yeah, I just don't know what it is. It does alright on this side. What's that?
Billy Pearson at shortstop made an amazing play on that third out. It was a slow chopper that kind of died in the infield grass just past the pitcher's mound, and he was able to catch it on the bounce. It was about a knee-high bounce, and in one motion kicks it out the glove, throws it over. So he had some trouble with those 2 errors. That first was really neat to end that. Yeah, Aaron Higgins said 2 errors, like
Alright, stop. Collaborate and listen. I suck back and ran with the wind. Grabs a hold of me tight. Flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Oh, yeah, stop. No, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I blow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and watch the jump like a candle. Dance. Rush the speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly. When I play a dope melody, anything less than the best of the melody. Love it, honey. You better stay away. You better hit rules out of it. Don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves.
Starting off, bottom of the first, we have Maddox Ice.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Paul J. Watah Recreation Complex. Rock Springs Stallions AA varsity level baseball. Maddox Ice leading off for Rock Springs. Pitching for Evanston, Gavin Oliver. That one just outside to the right of the plate. Caught by Hank Allred.
Yeah, not a lot of experience on the mound here. We're still in the first month of the season. Still got one more week. Nice fastball.
That one in there for a strike right over the plate.
That is a swing and miss. And now we get a 1-1 count coming up here. Maddox Ice had the eye on that ball, gave it his all, but came up with nothing but air on it. Oliver just kind of pumped it past him, set him up with an off-speed, and now we'll see where
Here comes another one. That one is hit, fouled off. Let's see if Evanston can catch it. They do. Hank Allred just behind the plate in foul territory for out number 1. Back in foul
Up to that,
territory,
we
right
have Hudson
behind
Gardner, number 14.
plate in foul territory. Now up the catcher, Hudson Gardner.
He is leading the school. That's hilarious.
Garner, one of those ideal top of the order type guys, his on base percentage is pretty
Gardner watches that one for a strike. 0-1 the count.
Again, 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored in the game via 10-9 loss to number 1 ranked Cody.
Gardner swings through that one 0-2. That one was low in the dirt. Very likely would have been a ball had he not swung at that one.
Now, I think right now they want to make this a quick defensive inning, try to build.
Gardner in a hole 0-2 now. Nobody on, 1 out.
Try to make your offensive innings last and the defensive innings.
Here's the pitch. That a slow roller to shortstop. Now over to first. A 6-3 play for out number 2.
Up to bat, we have 0-0, Sam Wheeler.
That was Owen Morrow to Braxton Bauer. Liner from Hudson Gardner to Morrow. And Morrow crossfield to Bauer for the second out.
Whoa.
There's Sam Wheeler. That's a liner right to the second baseman, but that gets past the first baseman. Wheeler racing to second. And right at the throw at second, Wheeler out.
Heading for right center field. Great job by Ryan Baldwin at second to kind of corral
That's the
that
third out.
And then the throw goes wide to Bauer, but Bauer shows some hustle, gets it off, and they catch Wheeler as he
Bauer catches back up to the throw after it goes wide
It's 1, 2, 3, bang,
from
bang, bang,
Baldwin.
and we're off to the bottom.
And that was a close play from Baldwin. Back to Bauer at first. Just wide from Bauer at first. Bauer able to catch up to it. Gets it back to Baldwin. Baldwin able to recover in enough time. Morrow able to assist and get Wheeler with the out at second. A very, very close play for the third out, so it's a quick 3 up, 3 down for Rock Springs. And Wheeler, one of those seniors we recognize that's going to be graduating from Rock Springs High School here in just about 48 hours from now. So Rock Springs still down 1-0 to the Evanston Outlaws.
You can't touch. Yo, I told you, you can't touch this. Why you standing there, man? You can't touch this. Yo, sound the bell. School is in. Son.
Rock Springs in their primary home white blue trim with light blue ball caps and black bills. Evanston, their road white jerseys and pants, dark blue numbers and lettering.
Break it down. Hammer time.
And here now comes up
Up to that,
Ryan
we have number
Baldwin,
20, Ryan Baldwin.
The catcher knows that it's his job.
the second baseman for Evanston. He was critical in that last
Great job by really
out to end the bottom of the second as he swings through the bottom of the first, as he swings through that one. 0-1.
Like, yeah, and as brutal as that sounds.
Yeah, it's like if you're that miserable of a person and you know you're telling me.
Baldwin, that one is just a bit high for a ball. Count even now. 1-1. And there's a slow roller to Billy Peterson. Again, Peterson handles this one easily. Gets it to Fasoler for the first out. So that is a 6-3 out for Ryan
Next up to
Baldwin.
bat, we have number 11, Brody Clifton.
We talked about how he had those 2 errors in the first, but he really cleaned it up to get that third out. And now he's kind of starting to get the feel of the game a little bit more.
All right, here we go. Up next, Brody Clifton. Brody came to the team last Tuesday.
Billy Peterson
And went 2 for 2, if my mind serves me.
redeeming himself the last couple of plays. He had those couple of errors to start off the first inning,
12-6 curve that just kind of drops down right
and then 2 straight
kind of fools Brody a little bit.
ground outs that led to outs. Braxton Bauer and then Ryan Baldwin. And there's a slow roller. Brody Clifton.
Foul ball is that tried to tightrope right down the third base line after.
But that's a foul ball, as that is right down the third base line, but the home plate umpire says foul. That was very, very close. Could have gone either way. Clifton hightailed it down the first base line. Umpire says foul. So Clifton will do that again in the batter's box.
He's fast enough to lay something out, but you got to give yourself a chance.
Setting the
Here comes the pitch.
this one far out.
That one
ball one.
way right of the plate.
Good work from Brody Clifton for keeping an eye on
That ball one.
for a second, but did not score.
Now the count 1-2.
Quite make it great, and it goes outside. Great pitcher grab by Hudson Carter.
1 out.
Maddox Ice, here comes the pitch.
Strike.
That one a curving.
Something to behold.
In there for strike 3.
Up to bat, we have number 6,
That's out number 2.
Damian Captain.
Returning the favor immediately after a quick 1-2-3 at the bottom of the first. Up to bat.
And just like that, we are 2 outs into the top of the second inning. Damian Cameron, the starting left fielder for Evanston, now up. Cameron swings through that one. 0-1 as that one catch the right corner of the plate.
Maybe wanted a little bit too much.
Yeah, that thing broke down and low to the right comment, just a little bit inside of it. 0-1 count.
Cameron reaching a little bit on that one as that one is up there in the zone.
Conley's our teammate, Ice is really working well with that inside fastball that's catching the inside part of the zone.
Cameron disciplined on that one, watches that one pass by for a ball. 1-1 now. 2 outs, nobody on. That one outside, right of the plate.
Get a little bit of confidence, it feels like.
Ahead in the count now, 2-1.
Damian Cameron, the final line of defense before the end of the inning.
We also see Connor working some breaking balls. We'll see if that comes in with off speed.
And here's another pitch. Cameron swings through that one.
We have a ballerina count
Make it now an even count, 2-2.
of the offensive portion for the Outlaws here at the top of the second.
It's called ballerina.
It's 2-2. I know I had that in
I remember that last week.
And here comes the pitch. That one in there for strike 3 on that curveball. Caught Cameron looking.
Come away with some highlights there.
That's 3 up, 3 down for Evanston. We head to the bottom of the second. No one left on for Evanston. We head to the bottom of the second. Rock Springs Stallions looking for win number 3 on the year and win number 3 against these Evanston Outlaws here at home in Rock Springs. Will it happen again tonight? Find out as we continue to roll on. This is Rock Springs Stallions Baseball with Andrew Gallinger.
And it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all.
Doing all right? Yeah. Pretty good.
Well, you got the Sox ball right out in here.
And welcome back, everybody, to the bottom of inning number 2, Rock Springs Stallions Baseball, hosting the
Up to
Evanston
bat, number
Outlaws.
27, Jaden Hunt.
Jaden Hunt, tonight's starting third baseman, up for his first plate appearance tonight.
To bat first against Gavin Oliver. Billy Peterson behind Andrew.
Gavin Oliver pitching. Here comes the pitch. That one in there for the first strike.
Broke and came down right smack dab in the middle. 0-1 count here after looking through Jaden Hunt.
Beautiful pitch by Gavin Oliver.
That one coming into the left of the plate, sliding in on the middle. That one, second pitch, caught by the left fielder, Damian Kamen, for out number 1. Deep into left field.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're good. It was. It was beautiful read by Gallinger.
Damian Common with
Up
the
to bat.
catch in the strong
Number 6,
Wyoming
Billy
win
Peterson.
for out number 1. Now up to shortstop, Billy Peterson. Peterson had a rough start fielding with a couple of errors, redeemed himself with a couple of outs, throwing it at first base from his shortstop position as there's a hit. Let's see if it drops. Diving is Owen Morrow for the
Up to
second
bat,
out.
number 2, Andrew Rondinelli.
That second out in shallow center field.
I think I should.
We've seen Walker just kind of, that's starting to become a move for him. He just runs up.
And the wind
I think he can get there. So he
not really allowing the balls to travel too awful far. Now up Andrew Rodinelli with 2 outs. That one just high and out of the zone for ball 1. Andrew Rodinelli is starting second baseman.
And watching that one high. So 2 balls given up by Oliver here.
That second pitch also just a bit high, but that one was over the heart of the plate, so a 2-0 count for Rodinelli.
Watches the third.
That one low and gets past catcher Hank Allred. 3-0 the count.
That was just simply kind of Oliver kind of put a lot into that one. Almost looked like he was falling off the mound as he delivered that.
Rodinelli
Just kind of missed his spot.
really has a chance to be disciplined here, as that one is in there for a strike from Evanston pitcher Gavin Oliver.
Is the count here. The bottom of the second.
Oliver
Nobody on base.
readies as Rodinelli didn't even make an attempt to swing at that one. Let's see what happens here. As this one is wide right of the plate for a walk for Rodinelli. Rodinelli on base. The first walk for Rock Springs. Now up for the Stallions, Adrian Beardsley.
Up to bat, number 20,
Beardsley, the
Adrian
starting
Beardsley.
left fielder.
You're thinking, all right, let's try to get something out of this inning.
Rondinelli gets on first. You know, we spoke about it a little bit.
Oh, I've got some raffle tickets already for you.
Oh, you do? I forgot about this.
Here comes the pitch.
Swing high at the
Beardsley hits.
dugout, foul.
That one fouled off down the right field line. Beardsley fouls that one off, excuse me. Rodinelli at first. So with Rodinelli at first and 2 outs,
You look like you're that tonight.
Right?
Stuff here. We talked a little bit about the walks.
we'll see what Beardsley can do.
Committee, the Outlaws, trying to find that maturity and to keep their defense in the game, and that starts with pitching.
And pitching.
And here comes the pitch. Beardsley, slow roller, gets right to the pitcher. Beardsley can't beat it out, but that's a foul ball.
We were a little bit behind the call here, so it came off the bottom of his bat, and it must have hit him. Only rode 3 feet in front of him.
Did not look like that initially. Umpire said late that it was a foul ball. I was looking down towards first base, and the home plate umpire called it off late. So Beardsley is back to the plate. Rodinelli at first. Here comes the pitch. That one low and in the dirt. Rodinelli moves up to second on the wild pitch.
Still a payoff.
Now Rodinelli in scoring position for Beardsley.
With Gavin Oliver. We'll see what he does here, but it is losing up to 2 strikes, all fouls.
1-2 count.
And here's the pitch. Beardsley fouls that one off. Count remains with 2 strikes, 1 ball. So 1-2 count, 2 outs. Runner on second for Rock Springs. A chance for the Stallions to tie this game up against the Outlaws here at home.
Or fastball, quick call.
Here's the pitch. Slow roller right to the third baseman. Third to first. There's the out.
That's 3 outs. Return the side.
Hoover on a knee-high bounce catches it, brings it into the glove, throws it across the diamond at first base for out number 3. So
Ryan Hoover
this one.
catches it smack dab right into his glove. Quick throw across the field as Hoover catches it in the grassy part to the left of the third base line. Quick throw to Braxton Bauer for the 3rd out. So that leaves Andrew Rodinelli on base. So the Stallions strand 1 at the end of the 2nd frame. We head to the top of the 3rd. Evanston Outlaws still leading in this one, 1-0. We head to the top of the 3rd. Rock Springs Stallions baseball with Andrew Gallinger from the Paul J. Wataha Recreation Complex. Top of the 3rd inning coming up in just a minute.
I love watching defensive battles because it's just fun. Just baseball. Like, that play this play is
If you don't understand me, had my heart broken by this one named Tammy. But home, gon' be home, so I couldn't blame Tammy. Just talk to me. Told her she the sweetest. I beat the beat up. Call it
That little solution like keep it in the bag.
And welcome
Up
back,
first for the
everybody.
Evanston Outlaws,
Now
number
up for
15,
Evanston,
Ryan
Ryan Hoover.
Welcome you back to the Union Broadcast booth.
As we are still waiting for our first hit on the night.
I envision our vision is to improve yours up to bat.
Gavin Oliver
Ryan Hoover.
and Owen Morrow have both made it on base for Evanston via an error, but not an actual hit credited in the scoreboard for Evanston yet. There's a roller right to second base.
Peterson is able to scoop it off of himself, but not in time. That
And Billy Peterson not in time.
uses his athleticism to grab it back up again while he falls forward, throws it out.
Up to bat, number 24, Gavin Oliver.
Hudson Fasola, that one just late to him.
He tried to glove it too quickly, and he was doing it on a dead run, running out from his shortstop position in front of the second.
Hoover at first
And he just simply gets
on an error.
Take a deep breath, calm down, let the play happen, and that could be it now. But
So the streak continues with runners on first for Evanston via error. Now up, Gavin Oliver. Oliver swings through that one all the way. And Hoover out
Hoover must have gotten a little bit off of first base.
on a pickoff.
I just said, hey, come get it over here. And that just erases that.
Just got off first base just enough.
What's that?
Maddox Ice through to Fasola, and Fasola got
Gavin Oliver with 1 out and an 0-1 count, staring down the barrel. Pitch and that one.
and there's a slow roller.
Rolls out to third, past third baseman Billy Peterson.
Not in time. Oliver on base,
Two on the day, out to first.
and this time that's a hit. First hit of the day for
Up to
Evanston.
bat, we have number 5, Walker Wilson.
Might be something. We'll see. So, runner on first. And up to bat.
Walker Wilson now up.
Wilson flew out.
So she said that he got it, but then she was like, no, he hasn't gotten it, but like there's
0-0 is the count. And off the bat comes Maddox Ice and resets, sliding back to save himself. Is Gavin Oliver. Gavin over there.
And earlier Hoover just called out,
Water bottle. Like, there you go.
getting too many steps in front of first 2 batters ago. And then Gavin Oliver
Walker Wilson, flying out in the infield.
singled to first, so that's the first hit of the day. Initially thought it was an error on Rock Springs, but credited as a single, and that one
Catches the corner for an 0-1.
in there for a strike.
He was going to do something, but he hustled back.
That one on the right corner of the plate. 0-1 the count for Wilson, the Outlaws center fielder.
Garner's got a cannon for an arm, looking over at first and then setting at the right ear. Sets himself. The pitch.
And here comes the pitch from Maddox Ice. Swinging through that one is Wilson. 0-2.
In front of it just a touch. And just like that, you're looking at number 2, but you got Hank Allred standing on deck. If you could somehow get a runner in scoring position with Hank Allred, that would really help the Outlaws, especially since that W really has done the thing that I'm not going to say it's doing because I don't want to jinx it.
Next pitch coming up here from Maddox Ice. 0-2 count.
And here comes the pitch from Maddox Ice.
Good.
That one
That was
just high for a ball.
Just up high.
That one
Just up high.
maybe
Not missed by much.
questionable.
They've definitely tried to bring it back into the zone, that art of framing. But umpire says, nope, that's up.
You gotta
That's
give him
out.
something.
and shaving the edges of the zone here. Pitch coming up.
And ready for the next pitch.
In at his ear.
Here it comes.
Walk wants a timeout.
Walker decides to raise his hand and take a little bit of a breather, looks down the third.
And Wilson, deciding he needs a minute, steps out of the batter's box. Wilson and infield fly out in the first inning. That was the first out of inning number 1.
Gotta hit it here, Walker, once you can.
One out here in the third for Evanston. 1 man on. As that was it. That gets down shallow center field. That's a single for Walker Wilson
Good piece of
to shallow center.
Walker Wilson, and now with the runner in scoring position, you got you talked about in the pregame show, most productive offensive player, Hank Allred.
Hank Allred is going to roll up to the plate here.
Up to bat, we have number 7, Hank Allred.
Out there. He's going to swing
The
hard.
catcher for this game for the Outlaws, Hank Allred, now up.
Really dangerous.
Allred flew out in the first.
Only 1 down, 2, so there's a litany of options here for the Outlaws.
Allred, good chance for the Outlaws with 2 men on. First and second as that one low, but just above the knees for a strike. 0-1 the count.
That Hank even pulled like a little move away, but it just kind of broke right back into the window at the perfect time.
1 out, 0-1 count, runners on first and second. Hank Allred up to bat. The Maddox
That one on the left part of the plate.
back to home plate. The double take a couple times.
Here comes the next pitch from Maddox Ice. That one hit.
Up in the air, and
That gets into the infield. And
that
that gets down.
a little bit of a miscommunication between Maddox
Maddox Ice not able to catch that one.
and the wind high above
Just
home plate.
Ice runs from the pitcher.
Maybe a miscommunication between catcher Hudson Garner and pitcher Maddox Ice, and maybe a little bit of the wind too. Not able to come up with that for the second out. That's credited as a foul and the second strike. So Hank Allred back to the plate. 2 men on.
It's a low back, almost rests on his shoulder. Very relaxed in his stance,
And Ice looks back at second base as Gavin Oliver was maybe taking too many steps away from
so a little bit of paranoia.
second base as
Stress happening.
Oliver now is maybe
Trying to hold
6
back
steps away.
the waters of what could potentially
Here comes the pitch. That one in there. Allred has to lean back.
inside. Another ball that tried to break back in but did not catch that.
That would almost look like the same pitch that was started. That was kind of backed out and fell back in the zone. This time it didn't break into the window, and it goes down to ball 1.
All right. here we
That
go.
the first ball of this attempt
What
for
should have been an out.
Hank Allred.
Hank Allred has been given a second chance at life. The pitch.
Here comes the pitch. Allred fouls that one off. Count remains 1-2 as Allred fouls that directly behind
I don't
him.
know where the heck it came from.
2 men on. Count remains 1-2 with 1 out.
Mixing up that off speed, mixing up that curveball, mixing up the fastball. And now, when you're doing that, a lot of batters are right. Their goal number one is just to get the timing down. That's exactly
Rock Springs can make it out of this jam. Maybe even get a double play. And potentially get out of this inning right here, right now.
good layoff.
Let's see
by
that.
Hank. Easily could have offered it that one, and had he done it,
That one just outside for a ball.
gone straight to the second baseman and resulted in an out, but he lays off of it and equals the count at 2.
You can tell that Hank wanted that one bad. Decided to sacrifice.
2-2 now.
Still, now we have a 2-2 count. Eyes back to second base.
Allred readies.
In the middle, and Hank with the blooper.
Allred with that one. That gets down shallow center field.
It's just a
That is
but
single
man,
for
what a
Allred.
great hit by Hank Allred. Just kind of loops that one, and the wind caught it. Looked like it was going towards center field, but the wind caught it and just sharply turned it. Have you ever seen a ball turn that sharp before?
Up to that, we have number 2, Cohen Morrow.
With the wind, didn't allow that to travel any further than just beyond the dirt in center field.
Recap a little bit what we saw there. That ball
Without the wind being so drastic, you gotta think it would have traveled a lot further and potentially would have brought Gavin Oliver home. And now we have Rock Springs having a mound visit.
out on the mound here. As
Interesting how now the wind playing a part in this game is
You know, it's worthy to note
now the base is loaded
that ball
Figure out the play.
So, and that was
You don't want to mess them up.
and Rock Springs here early on. Now having a mound visit, 1 out for the Stallions
lowest right field grab
defense that they're
and a great
up against.
by Hank Allred.
Bases loaded situation.
Cold on Saturday.
So when you were here Monday, I was like, wait a second. Oh man, I might be kidding.
Today I feel better, but it's all settled down in my chest.
Owen Morrow now back up to the plate. Morrow got on base via error, and his single
When I was born, I had
brought Gavin Oliver home for the first
and then it came out, slipped back
run,
in, and
first and only run so far today.
that's when I came
First
out with a
one.
pair of blue jeans.
Morrow had to duck
So like, my
in
mom
the
was
batter's
asked
box.
since birth.
That's ball 1. Morrow, that was low. He had to slide backwards, so that's ball 2.
Just kicks their butt. You know.
And I never got vaccinated either.
Hank Owen, you can't walk it. You
I
gotta
got
pitch
it.
to him because
I know I got it once.
Did you?
do that, and then he's gonna get that run either way.
During the
And here comes the pitch. Morrow swings through that one. That was low. Would have been ball 3, perhaps. A prayer answered for the
Lot of
Stallions.
room between center field and right field.
Yeah,
Looks
depending on who you're talking to, I had asthma as a kid.
With
Wasn't
this
the military,
wind,
I didn't have asthma.
Perhaps Rock Springs, the outfielder's going to come in a little bit. Because now it's ball 3, as that one was low and in the dirt.
Stuff, and they made all their wild promises.
And that one looked like maybe the wind pulled that ball down.
You should still join the military.
Swinging through that one.
So the Air Force came and talked to me, and they were getting ready to sign up. You ever had asthma? I said, yeah, but I went away that time. I was like, they just changed the rule, and you could never have had it. So I was done. So then, sitting around several years later, and
On a 3-2 count. Now here comes the pitch. Oh, with the hit. Gets past second. Coming home, Gavin Oliver.
a 2 RBI single.
Also home, Walker Wilson.
Launch that thing right back at the face of Matt.
Up to bat, we have number 34,
As Morrow singles
Braxton Bauer.
to shallow center.
And you still got runners at scoring position for Braxton Bauer.
So anyway,
One down.
sitting around, decided to join the guard. And
This is an inning
I went and talked to the recruiter. By that time I rode
And this gets to shallow
filled out all my
center
medical stuff and handed
for
it to him.
Owen
He said,
Morrow.
"Do you want to join?"
The 2-run RBI single from Morrow is now Braxton
They made it.
Bauer.
It's 21 years. So.
And this one of those, a good hit to bring 2 home. With 2 runs scoring, it's a 3-0 lead for Evanston here in the top of the
Hey, that
third
works.
over Rock Springs.
It's good for you guys to practice. Let me show you a couple things.
Last time we played it, and Rock Springs
Okay.
team.
And the Stallions,
We just announced their names.
Braxton
Okay.
that one in there for a strike.
A couple times, and then we'll show you.
We're seeing the center fielder, and I'm looking out there.
Figure out whoever's up next.
Right fielder, Brody Clift.
But in between the innings, you can find a song on the list.
Excuse me, right fielder Sam
You just have to
Wheeler
make sure it's not explicit.
in a little bit
All these ones should be clean. And I'll show you those times too.
to compensate for the windy conditions we're having here in Rock Springs as that one gets wide for a ball.
Angela, so you could be a freshman?
Ices everybody back on the back.
They played together on a fall.
I know, we have to get some join finally.
2 men on with Braxton Bauer at the plate. Still 1 out. 2 already home as that's a slow roller. That gets by for a single for Bauer. That brings Hank Allred home from second.
There by Bauer. It'd be really
That's an RBI single for Braxton Bauer
one down. I got runners in scoring position. But all he does is just kind of reach.
to shallow right.
Up to bat, number 20, Ryan Baldwin.
It's in the gap between first and second. And now Ryan Baldwin's
Now Ryan Baldwin up
So, I knew that.
with runners at the corners.
And then we just say. And you don't have to mess with any of the volumes except for the music, and I'll show you that.
Last couple batters have been able to make his way home. Making their way home. Cohen Morrow, the only one stranded running out on third. Braxton Bauer on first. 4-0
And here's the pitch.
inside.
And that gets away as it's thrown to third. Coming in from third, Owen Morrow
Cohen Morrow will make it.
on the throwaway.
Another score comes in, and another run added to the.
Braxton Bauer moves up to second.
really nervous because James
On the
Hunt did a
wild
really good
pitch.
job stopping that from rolling into the outfield.
And just like that, it's 5-0.
And then that gave Cohen the opportunity to come home.
So after Ryan Hoover, after getting on first base, is tagged out at the very top of the
So
inning.
just like that, it's Evanston Outlaws 5, Rock Springs Stallions nothing. Here, still in the top of inning number 3, as that one was in there for strike number 1 for Ryan Baldwin's
That was a pitch that went
first attempt
third.
here in the 3rd inning. Baldwin grounded out
Whips across the field from
in the 2nd.
Stuff like it's ads on the
pitch again far outside of the right. It almost looked like
Baldwin watches that one for a ball to the right of the plate.
Let's see how you do here. Okay. Oh, okay.
Following that single and then the fielding error,
Bauer on second, launching.
5-0 as there's a hit, and that's an out at third, but he dropped it. Jaden Hunt dropped that one, so no out.
That was a great play.
Bauer makes it to third. Baldwin safe.
That was just one of those ones where they had
So if
Bauer
you
at
get lost or
third.
anything, you can always see what
Bauer at third, safe on the error with
Up to bat,
Jaden
number
Hunt
11, Brody Clifton.
unable to get the ball down and tagging him.
Ball just falls out of the ground. So they were trying to get Bauer at third, but that didn't work out very well for him. So Wendy's,
As that rolled right to Jaden Hunt. Off the bat from Ryan Baldwin, and it just came out of Hunt's glove from the wind as he tried to get it down for the tag on Bauer. And there's one fouled off for Brody Clifton. 0-1 now. As Clifton has runners at the corners, still one out, and we are getting deep here into the third inning.
You do, because a runner has to go to second. You'd have a force out at second. I don't think you have a force out at home. I think if they bought,
As this is the 8th batter here in the third inning, and we only have one out for the Evanston Outlaws.
Goes foul behind himself, not on ice, trying to come back and get back on the saddle.
Usually there are only two opponents in baseball, a home and a visiting team. Tonight there's three. The wind, as there's a bunt. And a throw, but it gets away. It gets away.
Rounding the bases.
Coming in to score, it's two, Braxton Bauer, and also Brody Cliff, Ryan Baldwin coming in as well.
Solar at first was a little scary there.
So then, you want to try this one?
Clifton and Pasola contact at first. They collided hard. Clifton stopped at second.
Tired.
So Clifton at second on an error.
But don't think that this is done. This is now what Coach talked about. You got to win.
Damian Cameron
Common catches foul ball as it screams behind the plate, hitting the backing here.
now fouled his first one of the third inning off. 0-1 the count, as now it is 7-0.
You got to be careful. It wasn't a run into him. It was one of those deals where Pasola was going with the
As that was
and Clifton was going for the base to get there.
Absolutely, it's just a contact at the
a run-in between the two. Clifton and Pasola are just going for the same space at first base.
Yeah, he checks.
Damian Cameron fouls that one off again. 0-2 the count. Clifton at second. Oliver, Wilson, Allred, Morrow, Bauer, and Baldwin. All the runners that have so far come home so far just in inning number 3. And Cameron checks his swing but called strike 3. That is out number 2.
15, Ryan Hoover.
Up to bat, number 15, Ryan Hoover.
Like a pro.
And now to bat, we are back to Ryan Hoover here in the third.
What's up, man? Good, how are you?
Hoover grounded out,
You can do that, and then you can have it paused, and then I can show you.
called out, stealing first, made it to first on an error earlier in the first inning, the third inning to lead off. And then he was called out stealing.
steps into it, and that one clocked foul.
He got too many steps away from first, did Ryan Hoover, diving back in. Diving away from first, too many steps away. Not back in time. Hoover was the first out of inning number 3. As now he's on an 0-1 count, fouls the first one back, now he fouls the second one back. So Hoover is on an 0-2 count in his second plate appearance here in the lengthy top of the third inning for the Evanston Outlaws.
Elderly mother.
You quit because I'm in the second one.
Ryan Hoover, that one gets down, fouled off deep down the first base line.
Really reached for that one, and it was
My Spanish teacher is so good.
That was a reacher, count remains 0-2. Brody Clifton remains at second, a runner in scoring position. Rock Springs trying to stop the bleeding here.
eyes clicking on the second
Here's the pitch.
side and sleeper.
That one fouled off again, right behind Ryan Hoover.
Yeah. Yep. So if you want to put it on your phone, you know what I mean? And then I'll
No action in opener. He coach Ron and
This is Spotify.
This is the second
You guys
time.
use Spotify? Yeah, okay. See, yeah, you guys are going to be just fine.
That's actually
Maddox Ice.
Okay.
Potentially, this could be the last inning we see of him. And swinging through that one is Ryan Hoover for out number 3.
Oh, great.
After the lengthy third inning, Evanston picks up 6 runs in the top of inning number 3.
Didn't go much farther than like straight.
And that makes it 7-0. The Evanston Outlaws over the Rock Springs Stallions as we head to the top of inning, bottom of inning number 3. Rock Springs Stallions to swing the bats next. Can the Stallions trim into this deficit? We'll find out in just a minute. This is Stallions Baseball with Andrew Gallinger. Stallions swing it next. Outlaws currently dominating here in Rock Springs.
Up to bat, number 23, Hudson Pasola.
Welcome back, everybody. Hudson Fasoler in the batter's box. Fasoler, one of the graduating seniors on this team. Fasoler will graduate from Rock Springs High School in about 48 hours from now, so congratulations to him. Congratulations to Fasoler along with Sam Wheeler, Tyler Bradford, Cannon Chrisman, and Trayton Gunyon as Wheeler hits that one. Infield fly caught by third baseman Ryan Hoover. Hoover steps up into the grassy infield for out number 1.
Up to bat, number 25, Dagan Dickinson.
Got his spot, held his arms out to.
Dagan Dickinson now up for Rock Springs. Dickinson readies, watches that one as it's high and over the heart of the plate for ball 1. 1 out, nobody on, still no hits yet in the game for Rock Springs. They've only had
Chests and the set launch out to the right, bottom right, that is, out of the zone.
apologies, they have had 1 hit, Sam Wheeler on in the first,
5 batters in a row.
as that one was also high for a ball. Swinging through that one,
Dickinson a little bit off
that
balance.
one up high, Dagan Dickinson.
Another fast, a screaming pitch high on a fastball there. Yeah,
All are excited.
Dickinson reaching for that one a bit up in the air. 2-1. Here comes the pitch. That one a bit inside. 3-1 now. As the wind's starting to pick up again here at the field.
go outside the zone. 7-0. Evanston out in front. Nobody on base. 1 out.
Here comes the pitch. That one is low for ball 4. Low and inside for Dickinson.
Up to bat, number 26, Maddox Ice.
Starting pitcher, Maddox Ice. Now up. Ice flew out to start inning number 1. And Ice has struggled on the pitcher's
Otherwise, the
mound
ump will get mad at you.
so far. In tonight's game, we'll see if he can have more success swinging the bat here in his second opportunity tonight. Ice fouls that one back right behind the plate.
Hank Allred, who ripped off the mask, had to go foul ball behind him, able to grab that one.
He had to track that one for a while too. Kind of swirled up high for a minute. It was also really cloudy, so.
Here it comes, that one up high and just inside. 1-1 now.
Shame as that ball goes just inside, does not catch the zone in the 1-1 catch. Dickinson on first 1 out at the bottom of the third.
That one inside to the left of the plate. Over the shoes of Maddox Ice. That one catching the right corner of the plate. Ice behind 1 and 2 now. Ice not swinging at that one. Perhaps thought that one should have been a ball.
Away from the right-handed hitting Maddox Ice.
Ice with the pitcher's count here.
We'll see what that is now. That one low and in the dirt. 2 and 2 now. Allred able to stop him. Maybe the wind had a little bit to do on that one. That one looked like it dropped into the dirt sharply. Allred had to stop that one quickly as that one is hit, and that's caught. Ryan Baldwin for out number 2.
Up to bat, number 14,
A fly out
Hudson
just
Gardner.
outside of the dirt. That's out number 2 of the third inning for Rock Springs. Hudson Garner now up.
2 outs.
Garner lined out to first in inning number 1. Garner was the second out of the inning.
Strike 1 as
That one catching the right corner of the plate. Strike number 1.
But decided not to offer a 1 count.
Nice breaking ball by Oliver that just kind of nicked the outside part of the window.
Garner not swinging at that one. Here's the second pitch. That one running in on him. Count now at 1-1. 2 outs. Dagan Dickinson on first with the walk as Garner fouls that one on. Out of play and right. Count now at 1-2 for Garner and the Stallions.
Spotify doesn't play it.
Garner has made contact once and now stares down Maddox. Excuse me, and stares down Gavin Oliver. Oliver again sets out.
Oliver looks back at first. Now with the pitch, Garner fouls that one off. That one gets over first base.
Bottom of the third, Evanston up 7-0.
Out of play.
Right now, Hudson Garner reeling it in, putting a beat on this. Potential to
Evanston dominating 7-0 here in the bottom of inning number 3. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Hudson Garner strike out for out number 3. That ends the third frame. We'll head to the top of inning number 4. Evanston Outlaws swinging the bats. Outlaws hot behind the plate, leading the Stallions 7-0. Will that continue, or will the Rock Springs Stallions be able to find answers defensively? We'll find out. This is Rock Springs Stallions baseball with Andrew Gallinger, the top of the 4th, coming up in just a minute. stay with us. In arena music, you're listening to You're In Between Innings.
Keep bouncing it up, you just might get a war. Yeah, if she back, she get it, pass it to the drawer. Pass it straight through the family. Red buses like Janet. Like Southside, don't panic. Gotta switch, gotta change up transit. Still jump around my fancy. And I still don't like shit fancy. Some days feeling real cheesy. Outside really trying to hand me. Who's that creeping through my window? Before you come outside, I got the info. Took it to the end zone from the end zone. No, I let her smoke, you let her lick more. Would've hit the jack, then what you call for? All that out your lips, that ain't called for. What the fuck is this? Let somebody, baby mama, inside of the bed. While I'm tryna tip. Shawty say she holding, got a razor in her lip. Mix my cup and twist one up, I love that ratchet. She like iced out wrist. Iced out wrist. Iced out wrist. Don't kiss. She don't kiss. Look like friends, but she say they twins. Jump right in.
Up to bat.
Welcome
number
back,
24,
everybody.
Gavin Oliver.
Gavin Oliver now up.
You guys like pros.
Gavin Oliver will lead off again.
Evanston Outlaws.
I gotta say, we got a young PA announcer.
We'll see if their hot streak swinging the bat can continue. Will the Outlaws be able to find answers defensively for the dominating third inning that the Outlaws showed? What will we see here in the fourth is that gets right to Rock Springs and pitcher Maddox Ice. Ice to Fasoler.
Up to bat, number 5.
Ground out.
Walker.
Out number
Wilson.
1, Gavin Oliver.
Just a sec, guys.
You know, Bugs Life, evil villain. That kind of hopper.
That one for Oliver.
Gavin Oliver up next. Walker Wilson.
Liner right to Maddox Ice.
First pitch is going to be a ball from that Ice. Walker Wilson.
Ice had to rearrange it in his glove, then got it to Fasoler for the ground out, and out number 1. Now Walker Wilson with it.
Almost a swing, but Walker Wilson able to pull that thing back in time. Nada.
Wilson now with it on an even 2-2 count.
Well, you've never heard me call a baseball game before, so there's a first for everything. 2-0. Third pitch, and that one's down, a swing and a miss. Able to spin on the dirt. Walker Wilson will be facing a 2-1 count now at the top of the fourth.
All right, now we got some
And that a 3-1 count.
kind of off a little bit towards left field, but he's kind of right.
Apologies, son, and my eyes miscounted the strike count.
Now it is.
31 count is what we're going to be looking at here.
And now it's a 3-1.
Beginning, Gavin Oliver grounds out to the pitcher. Now Walker Wilson.
And here comes the 3-1 pitch. That one caught a strike, and Walker Wilson started to walk. Made the first move like he thought it was ball 4. Home plate ump said strike 2. There's ball 4. Low catching right part of the plate.
Up to bat,
for
number
ball
7,
4.
Hank Allred.
That's the first walk of the night for Walker Wilson.
Great. Pretty cool.
Hank Allred now up. Allred flew out to the infield in the first and then singled in the third to center field.
The wind right now has died at the moment, so. Shh.
And there's a slow roller to second. Quick throw to first.
That was close. That was it.
Had a very close play.
Up to bat, number 2, Colin Morrow.
That one got Allred on a bang play at first.
Going Morrow with
Andrew Rodinelli.
RBI last time up at that.
Quick toss over to Hudson Fasoler. Maybe just a half a step in time to get Hank Allred out for the second out of inning number 4.
They're on scoring position. Walker Wilson, some speed there, so a single, especially if it takes over in that right field gap, could potentially score.
Owen Morrow,
Walker over at the second.
1-0 count now.
2 on the day.
Walker Wilson at second as Morrow swings through that one. Evanston and Morrow now behind in the count. 0-2 with a runner in scoring position. 2 men gone here in the top of the 4th frame.
He got out in front of it just a little bit, just enough so he gets nothing but
2 outs. Very
Second baseman
important is that
reached on an error at first in the first inning and single to center in the third.
1-1. Runner in scoring position for Evanston.
On a 1-1, here's the pitch.
Watches that one, and that one did break far and down to the right. It's going to be a ball far down. Does not touch it.
That one caught at the last second for a ball. 2-1.
started with that runner second. I like what I'm over.
Swinging through that one for the third out.
Nope. 2-2.
Oh, apologies. 2-2.
2-2 count. Right now, Evanston up 7-0, 2 outs, runner on second. Potential closing pitch right here. Launch down the middle. That one.
And there's a hit. That gets down left.
Rounding out to second.
Morrow comes home.
A run, a 2 RBI double. One RBI, excuse me. 1 RBI double.
And Morrow doubles, excuse me. That brings
Up to
Wilson
bat,
home.
number 34, Braxton Bauer.
We'll see if Outlaws have a little bit of a 2-out rally in them right now.
That's an RBI double.
Nice hit by Morrow. Just tattooed that one over into center left field and got
8-0 now for Evanston.
over and left and center respectively. And just a great hit by Cope.
Brings Walker Wilson all the way home. Braxton Bauer up to bat here, who has gone 1 for 2 on the day. Ryan Baldwin right after him and in the hook.
8-0 now the score for Evanston. Braxton Bauer now up with 2 outs. Hit quickly. That gets down shallow center. Bauer singles. Coming home. Owen Morrow. Single RBI.
Outlaws starting to pour it on here in the
Outlaws
Up
now
to bat,
stretching
number
it.
20,
9-0.
having a great game and
Ryan
Braxton
Baldwin.
Bauer is definitely easing off of it, and now defense is thinking, all right, now we just got
Ryan Baldwin now up, and
So right now we have 2 outs.
Rock Springs just thinking we need to stop the bleeding. 9-0 every inning now. The Rock Springs defense has given up a score as Ryan Baldwin swings through that one. 0-1 the count.
0-1.
Walker Wilson and Owen Morrow have come home. Owen Morrow also hit a double for an RBI,
Fantastic. He's had this fantastic breaking ball on the day.
as did Braxton Bauer as that one.
That one inside for ball number 1.
That one just caught for a ball.
Arsenal in there.
Yeah, really does. And early, especially early in the game, he was really rotating that inside fastball really well. Maybe some fatigue. He's thrown 78.
Bauer
so
on
far,
first for Evanston.
doing a good job.
Slow roller right to third.
Third base and the throw
Third
across the
cross to first.
in time.
That's the third out.
Ryan Baldwin to the bag. Rather the ball piece, Ryan Baldwin.
Jaden Hunt to Hudson Fasoler. A 5-3 play for the third out. RBI double for Owen Morrow, RBI single for Braxton Bauer. They respectively bring Walker Wilson and Owen Morrow home to give Evanston 2 additional runs and make it 9-0. Evanston Outlaws leading the Rock Springs Stallions. As we go into the bottom of inning number 4 here. This is game 5 on the season between these two teams. The teams splitting these series 2 games apiece for each of these teams. Evanston winning both of the games at home for the Outlaws. Rock Springs winning both of the games here in Rock Springs for the Rock Springs Stallions. Both of their wins are the only wins for Rock Springs. Will that continue for Rock Springs tonight?
They do their throwdown.
Let's see. We get ready for the bottom of inning number 4.
Up to bat, number 00, Sam Wheeler.
We have graduating senior from Rock Springs High School and starting center fielder Sam Wheeler up to bat. Wheeler singled in the first.
A little bit busy this week, so this will be the one. First pitch coming up here from Gavin Oliver for Sam Wheeler. Wheeler grabbing the plate, has to dive a little bit to avoid that one. Who was
And Wheeler, ball 1, Wheeler had to duck to avoid getting hit.
Look at all the games played in June, all the games played in July. And that's how many broadcasts there. We'll be following the rest of the way.
absolutely foul ball.
And excuse me, that was a double that had Wheeler out at second for the third out in the first.
Two first base off of an error. No error from the day for the Outlaws, and then was tapped out.
Wheeler fouls that one off, so it's 1-1.
You're looking at the box score right now. Yeah, only 1 error by the Outlaws. Gavin Oliver has allowed.
And Oliver gets that one low for ball 2.
Very good defensively by the Outlaws.
No, that's just
2-1.
This is the game changer.
Close to the bag.
Here comes the pitch. That one just outside to the right of the plate. 3-1 now.
Somebody from the Stallions really crowded the plate right now.
Outlaws strong defensively.
Yeah, it goes out of the.
And that one in there for strike 2. Full count.
Full count coming up here in the battle between Wheeler and Oliver. Who will win this one? We will see. Setting up at the mid-level. The lift and line.
And that one high, ball 4. And perhaps I gave the announcer's curse, as this is the first
27, Jaden
walk of the inning, second one of the night that Evanston gave up. Only the second blemish by Evanston pitcher Gavin Oliver. In an otherwise absolutely stellar night on the mound.
I like how Gavin
Jaden Hunt now at an 0-1 count in the batter's box.
when they focus on getting that first pitch.
Hunt watches one. 0-2.
0-2 count. 2 quick ones. David Hunt needs to crawl his way out of this one.
Yeah, got some action in the outlaw bullpen.
Hunt in a hole now with 1 man on. That one inside over his feet for a ball 1-2.
There's some definite action going on in the outlaw bullpen right now.
1 man out, 1 man on.
At Union Gavin Oliver off of him down.
Where is it? It's not there. It's not there. It's not there.
Second one just inside.
I bet
What are you
you.
looking for?
It was a little bit closer to the last pitch, but not close enough to do freestyle.
That one now a 2-2 count. Rock Springs and Jaden Hunt.
Type it in there.
Looks back over to first shoulder. I don't even know where you see launches low.
Here it goes. That one low.
Back-to-back full count battles. His count is creeping up.
That's ball 3, so we've got a full count 3-2, 1 man on. Leadoff man in the 4th, Sam Wheeler, already on with the walk. Hunt fouls it as it's a bouncer down the third base line. Count remains at 3-2.
Yeah.
Walker Wilson second, right. Bauer stays at first, Baldwin at second, Kortmar at first.
And then when you're ready, just hit the play button for your volleyball.
Shot.
Hunt with a shot! Down deep left field, that gets fouled. Very close to being a home run. Definitely had the distance, just curved. Foul.
Got all of that, but unfortunately on the wrong side of the pole.
All the stitches on that one. Unfortunately to the left of the pole.
Bauer gloves that one, tries to tag Wheeler, who is too quick. Able to make it back to save himself. Here we go, setting up.
Hunt that time not able to put a dent in the Outlaws' lead.
Something
But on the bright side, keeps his plate appearance alive for the Stallions as that's ball 4. Hunt walks.
Up back, number 6, Billy Peterson.
Billy Peterson now in the box. Peterson flew out to center field
You can
in the second.
line here is pointing almost straight up and down. That's about what it is. So you're a little quiet on them.
I just don't want to be too loud.
With
Yeah.
2 men on, nobody out. That one was just outside for a ball 1-0.
on the day, it's ball number 1.
Joker down. Drive.
On first and second.
Here comes a pitch from Oliver. Peterson checked his swing.
Joker down. Right there.
Yeah. Jumper down. Okay.
That one just high for a ball. Now a 2-0 count.
If you have a hard time seeing that screen, you can look up here for your count.
Oh,
So, I don't know. That's why I can't see it out there.
This is how much I like it.
and Peterson fouls that one back. Racing back is the Evanston catcher, Hank Allred.
Bauer both in the vicinity, but that leaves him down to earth too quickly.
Can't come up with that one. That one's fouled off 2-1.
No outs so far in this inning. 2 walks and runners on first and second on 4.
Both batters in this inning for the Stallions. On base with walks, Sam Wheeler and Jaden Hunt.
But you have him run this ball. You when you run the
Stallions down by 9. Here in the bottom of the 4th frame, 9-0.
I think you're probably right. Probably about
Is that one low for ball 3?
bringing run on the walk for Gavin Oliver.
3-1 the count. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one's strike 2. The cut. Billy Peterson looking. Full count now. Nobody out. 2 men on. Runners first and second. Via the walk, let's see what happens here. Slow roller to the shortstop. Double play attempt. Gets away from first. Out at second is Jaden Hunt.
Yeah.
I got what's grand on my diamond, yeah, buck.
Up to bat, number 2, Andrew Rondinelli.
However, safe is Billy Peterson,
Look at your bitch through these DL by folks, cause I get me some head.
as Braxton Bauer was unable to come away
Pistol hot waters, I just like a dolphin.
with that one as it
no more impossible.
bounced off the front of his glove.
Shopping that 40, I'm just
Step in the box.
With Andrew Rodinelli up. We've got runners at the corners, Wheeler at third, Peterson at first for the Stallions. Andrew Rodinelli watches that one in the dirt. 1-0, 1 out. Runners at the corners.
1 out already. Runners on first and third. Keep an eye out for Billy Peterson. He's going to take off. And there he does. And out to third will be a check.
And Peterson
A very thoughtful play from Coach Rodinelli.
races to second, stealing second just fine.
And then you break your
Throw at third, Wheeler safe at third just fine. Swinging through that one is Rodinelli. 1 and 2 the count now, 1 man gone. Runners now at second and third. Here's the pitch from Oliver. That one high. Even count now, 2 and 2, 1 gone. Wheeler at third, Peterson at second.
It's probably not on you. It's
After the steal,
kind of new song, not really, but
Peterson singled on his plate appearance, as he was the last batter. Is now that one is just high and outside. Full count now, 3 and 2 for Andrew Rodinelli. Rodinelli walked in the second and advanced to second from first on a wild pitch. And that one, strike 3 for out number 2. And you can perhaps hear the displeasure from the fans that caught Rodinelli looking.
Who's that creeping through my window? Before you come outside, I got the
Rodinelli thought that perhaps that should have been a ball. Not the case. That out number 2, strike 3 there, is now up Adrian Beardsley. That one running in close to him to the left of the plate, ball 1. On the 1-0, here's the pitch. That one low. 2-0 the count now. 2 men gone. Runners on second and third for the Rock Spring Stallions. Stallions trailing to the Evanston Outlaws 9-0. That one high. That's ball 3. Beardsley opportunity to be very disciplined in what he swings at. But the fact that he's got 2 outs and there's low, ball 4 into the dirt. Beardsley at first.
23, Hudson Pasola. I didn't choke.
50 guys tried now.
Hudson Fasola getting ready to head to the plate. First, though, the Evanston Outlaws going to have a mound visit as Rock Springs
food. I'm starving.
Get some practice swings in while Evanston has a mound visit as we work our way through the bottom of inning number 4. Rock Springs, can they trim into this 9-0 lead?
No need to be greedy. I got mad friends with wins to see no proper players. Shoot like players. Jump in the rover and come over, tell your friends, jump in the GS3.
Okay, I'll catch you later.
By the tree.
Coming out of the mound visit is Evanston.
Hands in the air, if you's a true player.
Oliver remaining on the mound.
Homies getting money play.
At the plate comes Hudson Fasoler. Fasoler, an infield flyout in the third inning. That went outside to the left of the plate for ball one. Bases loaded for Rock Springs. That went outside.
Interesting. So
Ball two.
That almost looked like a pitch out because immediately he turned up, tied the runner at
Nothing. I tried. It doesn't work.
Like if they hit a home run.
Yeah, you can hit it, but it doesn't work.
That went in there over the heart of the plate. Strike one. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Can Rock Springs answer offensively and put a dent here? Rock Springs, second baseman, now the first. That's the third out. Rock Springs, strands 3. That was a lineup to Ryan Baldwin. Slow throw back to Braxton Bauer to get Hudson Fasoler out to end the fourth inning. Rock Springs strands 3, leaving the bases loaded and a prime opportunity to put a dent in Evanston's 9-0 lead. We head to the top of inning number 5. The Evanston Outlaws swinging the bats next, with the visiting Outlaws leading 9-0 over the Rock Springs Stallions. This is Andrew Gallinger with Stallions Baseball. The top of inning number 5 is up next. Stay with us.
As we get ready for the 5th inning. Maddox Ice, I believe, is still out on the mound. He is staying there. Currently, right now, Evanston leads 9-0. As we're going to go ahead and see top of the order here. Brody Clifton, 7-8.
Up to bat, number 11, Brody Clifton.
Struck out the first time and then by error made it all the way out to second, stranded on the bag.
Did you guys catch that outfield change? So Billy Peterson went from short to left.
Billy Peterson has gone from short stop to left field.
Beardley went center, and Wheeler went short.
So let's go ahead and run through the defense. So you got Billy Peterson in left field, Adrian Beardsley in center.
And we are ready for the top of the 5th, Brody Clifton.
In right, Pistola stays at first, Ron Manelli at second, Sam Wheeler now at shortstop, Jaden Hunt at third. All right. Second pitch coming up.
First one, a ball.
Out and foul down the line.
That one fouled down the first base line.
And now the Outlaws, I think, they're up by 9 here.
1-1 for Clifton.
Defensively, I think if they keep one run over, they're really going to like their chances.
As we are now here in the 5th inning, you gotta think desperation starting for the Rock Springs defense.
Looks like Jackson Osborne's on deck, so that's a new batter
And
for the Outlaws.
significant adjustments being made.
One-two count.
nobody on base, no outs. Top
On the
of
1-2 count, here comes the pitch. Clifton right to third. Hunt to third. Fasola gets Clifton out
Good work.
at first
Good throw by Jaden Hunt. Just waited, patiently gathered it in through the cross.
on a 5-3 play. Clifton
18.
that's
Yeah.
out number
Up to bat,
1.
number 18, Osborne.
Jackson Osborne.
In the top of inning number 5. Now up Jackson Osborne, the sub for Damian Cameron.
It's like Breckenridge now batting for Ryan Hoover. Rich is on deck.
next one caught. Osborne goes low and catches that one foul. 1-1.
That one fouled off for Osborne.
Hoover, who is on deck, as that Hoover just mentioned. You have it all over at the very top of the batting order in the hole. Maddox Ice with the 1-1, 1 out, top of the fifth. Osborne watches that one slowly.
And that one in there for a strike.
1-2.
Count now at 1-2. Nobody on, 1 out for Osborne in his first plate appearance. Osborne caught that at the front of the plate. Hunt can't reel it in cleanly with his bare hand. That's an
Back to
error,
number 32.
allowing Osborne on first safely.
His first at bat of the day, and now you're also with Breckenridge, and then you got looks like you got a new one. It's number 27 now.
We'll have to look at that lineup change in just a minute. Right now we're looking at Breckenridge, first time up to bat. 1 out, runner on first. First time looking at Maddox Ice on the day.
And we have a new batter, Breckenridge, into the game for Evanston.
Yeah. It was in the queue.
1-0 the count, as that one was low.
Yes. That's what you.
It's exhibited right there. 1-0 count.
Wilson?
Yeah, I don't have a first name on it in here. No, it is his last name. They don't give me first names in Game Changer.
On a 1-0 count, that's wide right of the
Number
plate.
27, Wilson.
That one a ball. 2-0 the count for Rich on his first plate appearance as a sub for Hoover.
Back into attacking position, waiting for the pitch, the launch. Down the middle.
Here's the pitch. Hoover with the hit to left field. That gets into foul territory.
Located right next to the Stallions dugout.
Deep into left
Bring all
field.
foul balls back to the concession stands for a piece of candy.
2-1 the count now.
For a piece of candy.
And Evanston
Next one, reach out the okay.
in a position where they might as well start subbing being up 9-0 significantly through this game.
Wilson is going to be our designated substitute for Gavin Oliver in the batting order. 2-1 count, Breckenridge after launching that one high, fouled off, catches that one again.
And this one is fouled off once again
So
on the ground,
2 times
deep down the third base line.
front of and behind the third base dugout of the Stallions, and Breckenridge wanting to get this thing fair play.
And we've seen it. If Evanston can move that runner over to second, they've been very good at converting runners from that position.
And Breckenridge wanting to do everything he can to get a hit. As we got an error as Osborne makes it up to second. Maddox Ice throws to first from the pitcher's mound. That gets away.
Back at that
from Hudson Fasolar,
Numbers back that up. Evanston has had
and that allows
guys stand on second. All 9
Jackson Osborne to
now
get up
11.
to
9
second.
11, including Osborne, coming around the fourth.
The errors continue for the Rock Springs defense as that pitch gets above Breckenridge. Rich has to duck to avoid that one. Count now 3-2 for Rich. Full with a runner on second. Nobody out for Evanston here in the top of inning number 5. The Outlaws hold a 9-0 lead as that's right to Rock Springs and a second baseman for the first out.
Up to bat, number 27, Wilson.
I'll bring up Ryder Wilson. First time
Here's a walk-up song list. It's not all scribbled on.
pitcher.
Ryder Wilson now up. First time we've seen him for the Outlaws tonight. And we also have a new pitcher coming in for Rock Springs.
92 pitches, that's a long while. That's quite a few.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, actually.
Should we play walk or a song right now while they're there?
Yeah.
Sure.
He's going to get a couple claps and a little bit of an ovation there as he walks off.
New pitcher, Sega Scooby, guys.
There's Jaden.
Oh, wait. I lied. Where did you put the Sega Scooby? That's Jaden Hunt. I don't know where Sega Stooby's going, but Sega Stooby's in.
And we've got a new pitcher for Rock Springs. It's going to be Jaden Hunt. They're midway through the top of the fifth.
Thank you.
We'll be back to continue inning number 5, the top of the 5th inning. Evanston batting. The Evanston Outlaws on top, and we are going to keep it here. They are about ready for the inning. Jason Sagastumi now at third. For Rock Springs.
Thank you, Squirt.
Jaden Hunt, the new
Thank
pitcher for Rock Springs from third base. Jason Sagastumi now into the game at third. And swinging through that one is Ryder Wilson and Billy Peterson replaces Adrian Beardsley in left field. On the 0-1, that gets past Ryder Wilson on a wild pitch. That brings Osborne from second to third on a wild pitch.
That would be a big run for the Outlaws. The run rule.
And here one comes It's a ball 2-1. Jackson Osborne just 90 feet away from potentially making this a 10-0 lead for the Evanston Outlaws over the Rock Spring Stallions, as that's low for ball 3. Ryder Wilson way ahead in the count. Jaden Hunt struggling in his first appearance as Wilson fouls that one off.
Only one base runner for the Outlaws has made it to third in
That one fouled off into the dirt.
one base runner is on third right now.
Count now full, 2 outs.
We are full count, Elin.
Jackson Osborne on third. Let's see if Hunt can get an out right here. That one high and inside. A walk for Ryder Wilson.
Up to bat, number 5, Walker Wilson.
The Evanston Outlaws now have runners at the corners. Walker Wilson now up.
Wonderful career if he really wants to take it. This would be big if Evanston could somehow get Walker on. So then you got Cruising already on deck circle, and he's been seeing the ball better and better.
2 outs, runners on first and third.
Walker Wilson working a 2-for-3 day.
Ball down and to the right from ball number 1. Walker Wilson on the day. 2 outs.
That one low. Ball 1.
But then able to get a single and a block last year and made it home. 2 out of 3 times.
Wilson came home as a runner in the third and fourth, and that gets outside on a wild pitch, bringing Jackson Osborne home.
That is Todd Hoover, who sent.
And just like that, it is 10-0, and that's outside again for a ball.
They sent Ryder, and then the ball went wide. You're like, how is the second? They immediately sent
Ryder Wilson now at second, following that wild pitch. Walker back in the box. 1-1 count.
Make that 3-1. Is that one down?
Yeah. It's all red on deck. Come on, get out of him. See now, right now, Rockman's trying to get out of this season because the more.
Count now 2-1. Let's see what Jaden Hunt can do if he keeps one in the zone. Or swing and through that one, Walker Wilson. Makes the count now even at 2-2.
Rachel, then why would you let go?
Did you get ketchup on you?
And here comes the pitch. That one high. That's ball 4, and Walker Wilson on first once again
7, Hank Allred.
via the walk.
This could be a big.
Now back, Hank Allred with the bat in his hand, and you gotta think the Rock Springs defense is nervous. 2 hits on the day. A single and double.
Evanston over the Stallions and Rock Springs. Looking for the 5th win of the season here.
First one a ball.
His real name.
Yeah.
That one outside to the right of the plate.
Outside 2-0 is the count.
2-0 count, 2 runners on, 1 out.
He's played great at third base and he's going to do that.
And there's a hit, gets past third baseman. One comes home. And safe on a close play, Hudson Garner, the catcher.
Guns it from third. Great catch by Gardner. And a great
Up to
slide
bat, number
by
2, Cullen Morrow.
Ryder Wilson sliding it home. Hudson Garner
It was a wonderful move, and Walker
tagging him, but just not in time. Walker Wilson now at third. Hank Allred, the RBI single,
already the RBI
getting Ryder Wilson
now you got it.
home from second.
For 10 days.
The RBI single deep left field.
Here we go, back again.
Is now Allred races to second. And out. Trying to steal home
they throw out to second, not in time, but a quick and
is Walker Wilson.
Hudson Garner able to grab the tag on Walker Wilson. This is Cody Olsen and Neil All here on a
That's the third out. The inning is over, but not until one run comes across.
there's a rainbow.
That's Ryder Wilson,
Well, the pot ain't here.
courtesy of a single to deep
Every
left
one of them is
from
giving up and
Hank
giving in. Tell
Allred,
me, in this house of mine,
making
nothing
the
ever comes
score
without a consequence. The cops tell me,
11-0.
well, the stars align.
Evanston
Well, heaven step
top
in,
of
will it save from a sin
Rock
winning? Cause this house of
in the
mine,
fifth game of the year between these two teams.
Throw down the second base.
The teams so far splitting this series 2-2, looking like game 5 will go Evanston's way. Well, we'll see. Still more baseball to be played as we get ready for the bottom of inning number 5. This is Andrew Gallinger with Rock Springs Stallions baseball. Dagan Dickinson up next to bat for the Rock Springs Stallions.
will somebody let me see the light within the dark trees? What's happening? Looking through the glass, find the wrong within the past, knowing what we are to you. Caught it in the east side of the world, out the east, tasting a bit of the truth. The truth. That's the price you pay. Leave behind your heart and pass away. Just another product of today. Rather be the hunter than the prey. And he's standing out there.
Which I believe they are. But,
Bud announcing.
That announcing looked great. It looked fantastic.
Number 25, Dagan Dickinson.
Dagan Dickinson has come up to the line here.
And welcome back, everybody. Rock Springs Stallion Baseball. Andrew Gallinger with you. Dagan Dickinson now up to the plate for the Stallions.
On the day I was born.
Dickinson, the 9th position hitter, the starting right fielder. Dickinson in his one and only plate appearance in the 3rd inning walked. Let's see if he can get on base by another way here. Rock Springs needs to get something going offensively. Stallions down to the Outlaws deep, 11-0. As Dickinson swings through that one over the heart of the plate. 0-1 the count now.
Lower ball that comes across the plate, baited Dickinson into that one. Dickinson grabs onto the second one, but that one falls.
He's up.
Dickinson fouls that one off.
What's his Jason?
Jason Sagastuli is up next.
Ryder Wilson, now the relief pitcher
Oh, California.
for Evanston.
I think it's almost all the way to the bottom.
And that one way right to the plate. And low for a ball, 1-2 the count.
Sagastuli.
Sagastuni.
Or you can call him Saggy Bottom. Everybody else does.
I should say that.
Jason
And here comes
Sure.
the pitch. That one is a slow roller right to the second baseman. Gets through to shallow. Center field.
Number 21, Jason Stagastuni.
Dagan Dickinson gets through. He's credited with a single to center, and now it's an error actually. Because that's mishandled by the shortstop.
11-0.
Jumper out.
Because I memorized his. Except, you should do that with this one because there's like 4 cuss words right in the first like.
Now up Jason Sagastumi. Sagastumi watched the first one for a ball 1-0.
Be the fun announcer.
And that one gets by for a wild pitch.
Should we say
Allows Dickinson to advance to second.
Runner on second. Still 11-0. No out.
That's what Rocky calls him. Rocky calls him Beardo.
Runner in scoring position for Jason Sagastumi.
Yes, that is the second arrow on
Let's see if Sagastumi in his first plate appearance on the night can get on. Here's the pitch. There's a hit to shallow center. That gets down an error on the shortstop.
Number 14, Hudson Garner.
We'll see what they score that one there.
Came out of the glove of shortstop Owen Morrow.
And box score says that is the first hit for the
Sam Beardsy.
Rock Springs Outlaws.
I thought you liked it. I think he said so.
What a great defensive performance as the Outlaws still looking for the shot. For Hudson Garner. So we have 2 players.
And that went in there for a strike 0-1 for Hudson Garner.
That one song that has the best word every 4 seconds.
2 men on for Rock Springs in this inning. 1 hit, 1 error. There's a chopper to third.
Nice.
Out at third.
Number
Dagan
00,
Dickinson out
Sam
at third.
Wheeler.
Puts it 1 down, and now you've got
Garner safe at first. Sam Wheeler up now. Wheeler with the hit, but it gets into the glove of Evanston, center fielder, and that's a fly out for the second out. Center fielder. And that is out number 2.
Oh wait, we gotta switch that one.
Should be already searched.
No, you have to find yours.
Ball just inside, and you can tell that
And that went a ball just inside for Jaden Hunt. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Hunt gets in there too. Shallow left. Bases loaded now.
Up to bat, number 6, Billy Peterson.
Them blocks high, we do spin. Baby, we just set the tone, we don't do the trends. Up from where they tryna make a living off of 2 for 10. Yeah, bitch, you know how we rock.
Billy Peterson now up to bat. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Rock Springs trailing in this one, 11-0.
He
Peterson fouls that one off down the third base line.
That one Billy too, so he only gets a few seconds.
Evanston took a team no-hitter on the back of a 4-inning no-hit performance by
the line down.
Win. Thankfully for these outfielders on both of these teams starting to die down. As that one catches the right corner of the plate for a strike. Unfortunately for Peterson and Rock Springs, that makes it an 0-2 count. And with 2 outs, that potentially strands Rock Springs with 3 runners, depending on what happens here with Ryder Wilson. That went in the dirt over the plate for a ball. 1-2 the count now.
Let's see Ryan Hoover throw a couple of tells me Todd Hoover might have had something to do 2 outs. So no birdie told you. All right, here we go. 1-2.
And here's one in there with the strikeout looking. That's out number 3, Billy Peterson. Billy Peterson caught looking, bases loaded, Rock Springs unable to capitalize.
Don't get the team no here hit by Rock Springs. But
and that's the end of the game. At the end of 5, Rock Springs falls to Evanston 11-0.
Thanks, guys.
Evanston takes the lead in this series 3-2.
Sierra wants to know if she brings 2 chemistry clips over, can she run them on our machine?
And taking a look at the information,
because their machine's dead.
Rock Springs now falls
Okay, I'll head over there. I'll leave Rachel with
to a 2
She can tell you if they haven't done it already. Okay.
and 22 record on the season. Up next for the for the Rock Springs Stallions, they will play these Evanston Outlaws again in a doubleheader next Tuesday in Evanston. So these 2 teams getting very familiar with each other.
Okay, sounds good.
Can the Rock Springs Stallions get a measure of revenge, this time on the road against the Outlaws? We'll find out. Rock Springs Stallions lose at home to the Evanston Outlaws 11-0 tonight.
Are they doing emergencies or what?
Yeah.
The next game for
I'll take her home.
Rock Springs will be here in a couple of weeks. It'll be a little over a week before we
She's gonna bring the clips that we want.
have another game. Rock Springs
And I'll just
hoping to have their next win on the road against Evanston. It will be a tournament on June 4th and June 5th, so join us here at home for that. I'll be here on the call for those games, so join us June 4th and 5th for that home tournament. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This has been Rock Springs Stallions Baseball with Andrew Gallinger. Evanston victorious in this one, 11-0. Evanston takes the series lead, 3-2.
That's a good win. He did.
The next game for these Rock Springs Stallions is at Evanston next Tuesday, May 31st. Good luck in that one too, Rock Springs. Next time we will see Rock Springs here on the diamond, here in Rock Springs at the Paul J. Wataha Recreation Complex, will be on June 4th. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is Andrew Gallinger. You were listening to Rock Spring Stallions, Post 24 AA American Legion Baseball. This has been Andrew Gallinger. Thanks for joining us. Have a great one. Thanks for listening to Rock Spring Stallions Baseball. And go Stallions.
Kind of leveled things off. Offense was really clicking on all cylinders, but really the high